Several guests directly approached me after meeting Mignogna and stated that they felt uncomfortable, hearsay, after he touched them. I directed these guests to security officers at the convention to report the incidents. The physical affection from Mignogna I witnessed consisted of very close and tight hugs, longer than normal hugs. What is that, an opinion? Moving his hands down toward the lower backside of a female and grabbing a woman's hair. I witnessed numerous guests look uncomfortable and scared. This is, again, during their exchanges at Mignogna's autograph table. And so much so that I requested a security guard to stand next to him to monitor his behavior after a few of these episodes. They can actually say that, but they can't include why, right? How do they know they were uncomfortable and scared? What qualifies them to make this? Where are the statements from the guests who say, I was uncomfortable and scared? Where's a complaint? Where's a document? None of this has been produced.
But would you want to know what has been produced outside of actual physical evidence? Twitter stories and people having to come out on Twitter and having to make claims that Vic had assaulted them or did something that made them feel uncomfortable with absolutely little to no evidence to back up their claims, which is going to be the point of today's video, as we are going to be discussing more individuals having to quote come out with their stories against Vic Mignogna and what he had done to them. As once more, before we begin, if you are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all things involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Toye, and many of the news and updates involving the Vic Mignogna case, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. Be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys do stand with Vic, as well as making sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork, to where there you guys will be able to find lots of anime and Dragon Ball content that you guys will not get to find on here. And follow me at Twitter at UnrealNetwork to stay connected with me at all times. And if you have anything you would like to share or tag me in involving Vic Mignogna or any of the parties involved in this case, then be sure to go on ahead and follow me at Twitter. Now we're going to be kicking things off here today with yet another person that allegedly had come out and accusing Vic Mignogna of doing inappropriate things to her at a convention, as an individual that goes by the name of Space Discos went on to post something very interesting that directly contradicts her own statements just a few years ago, as she went on to tweet, and I quote, "I believe you, Kara Edwards. I was there that weekend in 2008 at Animazement. I was 16 cosplaying as Winry Rockbell, and he kissed my neck / shoulder without my consent. Not that it matters." What? "I'm so sorry you had to go through such an awful situation with that vile man." As she went on to quote, "I want to clarify, not that it matters, meaning not that it matters whether or not I gave consent. I was 16, he was in his 40s, and the stranger and his lips should have never touched me." That makes no sense. You want to clarify to people that it didn't matter whether or not she gave consent or not. Even if she gave consent, she still would have went as far as to make this argument. Keep that in mind. So this individual is dumb enough to even state, yeah, even if I gave him consent, in my eyes, he's still a vile man, even though I allowed him to do so. But then Kara Edwards herself went on to respond to her, as she went on to state, and I quote, "Oh, my sweet girl, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had that experience, and I'm sorry none of us felt we could say we didn't like the way we were being treated, and I am sorry you are seeing me be harassed. And the other girls, I'm sorry, but you are brave, and you will continue to inspire." As Space Discos went on to reply, "Kara, you are amazing and so brave, and I know things are hard for you right now, but you did the right thing. I admire you greatly, and though it's not easy to deal with his followers, please keep your head up, knowing that you and the others who have spoken out have helped us." Now keep in mind, right, her allegations of this individual kissing her neck, kissing her stupid shoulder, which identifies as something so heinous that she wants to paint him out in being a vile man, right? It's almost as if he had committed a murder right before her very eyes, right? It's almost as if he had raped someone just by simply kissing, quote, throat, shoulder, and neck, which I don't buy for a single second because this individual had proven to be a liar, and this comes courtesy of Dragon Bay Z over on Twitter, who ironically enough had some very interesting things to say about Space Disco, as Dragon Bay Z went on to post, and I quote, "So, Kick Vic, why is it you are all okay with him and years later you say you never liked him? Like homegirl saying how he kissed her back in 2008, but in 2017, your little rant, you said nothing about the kiss but complained about the homophobic statements." Keep in mind, once again, 2008, right? This supposedly happened in 2008, but yet she never said a single thing to anybody about it. But let's go back to August of 2017. As Space Disco went on to post, and I quote, "I may greatly dislike Vic Mignogna and a lot of the things he stands for, but there are some roles of his that were very good." As she continues, "I also appreciate him for calling out, quote, hateful Christians as a Christian himself. He may be contradictory at times when it comes to his faith, but those people who stand outside of conventions with signs saying people who enjoy animated cartoons are going to burn in hell need to be put in their place by someone who can quote scripture back at them and let them know that they're using religion as a way to promote hatred. In a way that is not up to them to do. I still don't appreciate the homophobic things he had said in the past, but I'll give him some credit. I think reading a lot of the critical things about him on the internet has helped a little to get him to sit down and evaluate himself. He has a long way to go, but it's the little things, I suppose, that give me hope, right? So you appreciated how he went out of his way to tell other Christians that were demonizing gays that, listen, God doesn't hate gays, but you still want to go as far as to criticize the guy for homophobic statements when the guy went on record in saying that he has nothing against homosexuals. In fact, he likes homosexuals. He's befriended many, and as a matter of fact, you guys can go on ahead and check this video out to further see exactly what I'm talking about. And this individual is a trans person. Check it out.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am.
This is my dear friend Ray.
And this is my Rial.
My favorite Yoshimori. I want you to know something. Don't let people get you down.
Okay.
I want you to know that there are a lot of people that love you. And on your bad days, when you're having a rough time, I'm going to pull this video out. I want you to remind yourself that I love you, she loves you, God loves you, Rial loves you, and you are awesome. And don't let anyone ever tell you different. Alright?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I believe. Captain, I believe.
Handmade from nothing. Didn't know your size, but hopefully it fits.
Hopefully it fits, I don't know.
Hopefully it fits.
Oh my gosh, everybody is going to want this. Everybody's going to be like, where did you get it? I'm like, I can't tell you.
Oh
my gosh, it's
it
perfect.
fits so good. Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yay.
You are awesome. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Who's got your camera?
We're just recording.
We're recording.
Okay,
I got pictures.
this-
I can do pictures. Yeah.
I'm in love right here.
This is gonna go viral on YouTube.
So, he's homophobic, you say, he's transphobic, you say. Meanwhile, there are many examples, such as this trans person, to where Vic doesn't seem to be troubled or bothered by them at all. So it kind of seems like someone here is trying to stretch a false narrative. He hates gays, he hates trans people, meanwhile video proof shows otherwise, you liar. Clearly there's a bias against Vic Mignogna, and being that some of her favorite VAs are quote under attack, or more or less being criticized by people and having to question their stances and calling them out for being liars, all of a sudden she wants to take it to Twitter and letting everyone know, hey, I'm a victim myself, I'm a survivor, would you like to know what I survived? It wasn't anything life-threatening, it wasn't anything that was going to put me in physical danger. Would you like to know what I am a survivor of? I am a survivor for alleged kisses to the neck and shoulder. I need my story to be told. I need to go on Dr. Phil and write a book because yes, I am a survivor. And absolutely nobody with a cognitive brain will even for a second take this into consideration, especially the fact that there's no evidence, it goes by hearsay, and she had been caught having a bias before in not liking Vic. So those that tend to not like people often hold something against them for a very long time. So this individual found the perfect opportunity to come out in the public and stating, yes, yes, I'm a victim myself and here's why, which is complete nonsense. You're a liar and you're clout chasing, and you know you're clout chasing, but you don't want to admit that because you're pitiful pride. And it's not the fact that you quote came out, it's the fact that you came out way too late with no irrefutable factual evidence. But she continues, as she went on to post, and I quote, "Because people seem to not understand, I am not accusing Vic of rape, I am not accusing Vic of sexual assault, I am accusing him of inappropriate touch towards a minor. There is a big difference. I just didn't want the dude to kiss me. It's really that simple. Kiss your shoulder? Okay." As she continues, "This is coming from someone who knows what sexual assault is. I have been sexually assaulted. What Vic did to me was not on that same scale as my sexual assault, but it was still not good and I didn't want it and it was creepy." Wait a minute, you're saying you didn't want it, but at the same time, you're also contradicting yourself in your previous tweet because you said with or without consent, right? You said from your own mouth, whether you gave consent or not, it still wouldn't have made a difference, right? So even if you said, sure, kiss my shoulder, kiss my neck, you still would have came out with the same story. But here you're going as far as to tell everyone I didn't want it. So clearly, if this did allegedly happen, how come you didn't report it as it happened? Don't you think in your own mind that quote creeps or assaulters should be reported? If this happened to you and you felt so wronged by it, why didn't you say something to somebody at the time? Clearly, someone surely could have had the cognitive awareness to believe you in this case, right? Somebody. So how come it wasn't reported at the time? Oh, at the height of this specific case, after your favorite VAs are being called out for their hypocrisy and being questioned for their stances, which is not harassment by any means because we actually have video evidence of these same individuals not knowing what the definition of harassment is, you want to shed light on a case that happened well over 11 years ago, and you want to now go on ahead and paint the narrative and stating, well, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence in the fact that people are simply asking for proof? Even other women are calling you out for your hypocrisy, so nothing seems to add up in your story. And no, don't take this as an attack, don't take this as a form of harassment. This is simply criticism towards your public statement, in which of course it is public, made public on Twitter, and simply pointing out the flaws in your logic and having to accuse Vic of something many years ago with absolutely no shred of evidence to back up your claims. So I guess now I can come out on Twitter and let the world know that I was personally assaulted by Barney the dinosaur at the Area 51 base, and you have to believe me. You have to believe me because, well, I came out on Twitter, right? I'm a victim. I'm a victim of Barney the dinosaur's sexual assault. So please believe me, it happened at Area 51 and I was alone and I don't have any evidence for it, but you're going to have to believe me because, well, reasons. Which I know that she's going to go back and cry harassment the minute someone begins to question her stance, and although she had asked before under what pretense is she lying about, the case in point to where you're not providing any credible evidence in any of these situations to prove your narrative that he had done such a thing. If he had kissed you and there are credible witnesses with factual information to back up your claims with any kind of proof, even maybe trying to go as far as to contact the convention and seeing if you can obtain the footage, because that would really go far in furthering your narrative and having to prove that you're telling the truth. That's what people are objectively looking for. They're looking for evidence. We live in a day and age today where it's not that hard to produce something if, of course, you're alleging that these things happened, right? And you can't deny that we're living in a world today where there are cameras everywhere. So if this did in fact happen, as you said, at this convention publicly, then surely there would be some form of evidence to that, right? Even though it's been 11 years, your first train of thought would have been to report this and gain the footage at the actual convention to further prove your narrative. So again, I want to get everyone's thoughts in the comment section below about this. Is she telling the truth? Is she lying? What are your thoughts on her stances? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once more, if of course you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. slap this video up with a like if you guys do support Vic, as well as following me on Twitter. I can't stress it enough, Twitter at UnrealNetwork. Links to everything will be located down in the description box below, as well as subscribing to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork, to where there we're just about to crack 600,000 subscribers, guys. So again, I need your support for this. I need your energy for this, because once we break 600,000 subscribers, guys, I do have a couple of plans for you all. So again, make sure you guys subscribe to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys off with some clips to make some judgments of your own. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Tune back in for the next video, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a great day, guys. Peace.
For example, about 4 years ago at the Anime Week in Atlanta, one of our volunteers, Erica McCord, does anybody know about this? Erica has flatly stated that this didn't happen. Erica McCord in guest relations was also Mignonna's personal handler assistant. She would fly with Mignonna and accompany him to other conventions, as well as Star Trek Continues set. This volunteer was a diehard fan and admirer of Mignonna. That's hearsay. And I witnessed her defend him anytime someone complained about him being a diva or too demanding. That's hearsay. However, one day she came up to me and said that while she loved Anime Week in Atlanta and wanted to keep volunteering in guest relations, she requested not to be assigned to Mignonna or work with him directly anymore. Hearsay. It's almost like the lawyers weren't paid to go through these affidavits and make sure they made any sense or were useful to their case. She stated that he was not who I thought I was, and when I pushed for more details as to why she felt that way, she was hesitant and uncomfortable to say anything. Hearsay. I believed that she was too scared to say anything further, so I dropped the matter. Opinion. I learned from someone else last year that Mignonna forcibly kissed her without her consent. Hearsay. And I believe this is why she did not want to work with them. While I was frustrated she did not tell me this sooner, I understood why she was hesitant to tell me, because she knew I would not allow to invite him back to Anime Weekend. Hearsay. This entire bit can't, none of this. She has to make this statements. She has to say, he can only attest to what he said to her. He can't use her statement. She's available, she's alive, she's on Twitter. They should have hunted her down, but they didn't. They didn't. But again, someone would have to go to the police. Someone would have to actually bring a statement before the court, and no one has done it.